So machine overview on the Consew 227R-2. It's a triple feed walking foot with a cylinder arm. Let's see just what this machine can do. Model number is a 227R-2 and the R stands for reverse. It's got a 2 9/16 inch diameter cylinder arm, which really matters if you like to do bags or things where access is important. And the stated lift capacity on the presser foot is 5/16 of an inch, which doesn't sound like much, but I've got a 3/4 inch spacer bar under there, so I think closer to the truth is this machine could probably sew through plywood if you wanted it to. It's a heavy duty machine that'll take needle sizes from 18 all the way up to 23. The needle system is a very common 135 by 17, also sometimes called a 135/16 for a leather point needle, and commonly uses thread weight from 69 up to 207. It's got that familiar Consew reverse lever and a convenient way to adjust stitch length up to a maximum of about 5 stitches per inch, which is about 5 millimeters. So long as you press the lever all the way down, your forward and reverse stitches will match perfectly, so that's a great feature for leather workers. This one has a drop-in bobbin and it uses a standard industrial G-size bobbin, so that's good for almost any project, save for maybe the largest upholstery projects, but I think a G-size is really good. You tend not to waste very much thread. It's easy to access, very easy to load the bobbin, so I like this overall system. The cylinder arm gives you about 10.5 inches to work with, and another benefit, the diameter there is only 2 9/16 inch. You'll see this machine commonly mounted up to 3 tabletop styles, either a solid table, this U-shaped cutout table, which is my personal favorite. It's a really versatile design. Or finally the space saver type design where it looks like it's a half-length table, and that would be helpful if you didn't have room in your shop for a full-size table or you just needed really close access for doing your projects. This is really just an enjoyable machine to use. I always love to sew on the 227. I just like the fact that it has a higher capacity than most other machines have and gives you better access as well with that cylinder bed. Finish getting this machine threaded up and we'll spin the hand wheel around to pick up the lower thread. And this has a pedal operated foot lift, so that'll take you about 10 minutes to get used to if you're already familiar with a knee lift, but that's a really nice feature to have. And just look at that lift. My preferred motor setup on the 227 is a CSM 550. That's a servo motor, so not only is it quiet in operation, but it gives me better speed control. Need a sharp pair of scissors? Try the Consew Smooth Cut. Can't beat that for cutting leather and basic fabrics in your workshop. Hold back your threads for a second to get started and back tack it if the project requires it. And away you go. And I love the action of that triple feed walking foot. So the walking foot, the needle, and the feed dogs all work together to advance your material all at once. I like to find bottom dead center and then roll the hand wheel slightly towards me for the best looking back tacks. Of course, the safety clutch reset button is here, and I really like the design on the base of this machine because it lets you tip the whole head back for oiling and maintenance. And that just sits on an extra tall kickstand on this table, so you don't have to keep your hand on it while you're working on the machine. Now, if your table doesn't come pre-drilled for this 227R-2, I'll just give you a couple of general guidelines here. Mine is about 6 3/4 from the right edge of the table, and it's spaced just over 2 inches from the front edge of the table. But the ultimate guide for placing the head on this table is to align the groove in the hand wheel with the slot in the table. And it's also nice if the chain for the foot lift aligns with the pre-drilled hole in the table. But luckily there's 3 different holes for you to select when mounting that chain. So that massive foot lift can really handle a lot of different projects. I'm sewing up some leather straps for an antique rocking chair cushion. And a machine like this will really help you make some good looking projects. Man, it's amazing what you can do if you just have the right equipment. And I think that looks pretty good. So the 227R-2 is a great machine, especially with that cylinder bed to let you do cylindrical objects like hats and handbags. So it opens up a lot of opportunity for you. If the standard G-size bobbin is adequate for you, get the 227R-2. Or if you need a much larger U-style bobbin, go with the Consew 287R-2. Very similar capacities in that it's a cylinder arm triple feed walking foot, just with that larger bobbin.